Good afternoon, and welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program.
This program is sponsored in its entirety by the Southwest TV Translator Association and supported by the Dolores County Broadcasting Network, as seen on DCTV Channel 32.1.
The News at Noon program is in the pilot experimental stage. We hope to bring a variety of news and commentary for the Four Corners region. Give us your feedback and news alerts at 677-4119.
With all that said, I'm Kendra Cook, and my co-hosts are Kelsey Kiesling and Jerry Tope. And now for January 12th, 2016, here's the news. The trend of states legalizing cannabis across the U.S. is outpacing the availability of researchers to conduct tests and determine exact functionalities based on the plant structure, due to the federal laws remaining out of sync. ModernPharma.com reported that in place of decades of research, which other substances, such as alcohol, have undergone, cannabis has very little, with hearsay and guesswork. However, a hopeful and significant step forward was announced last month by the Drug Enforcement Administration to address a problem regularly felt by scientists studying cannabidiol, a cannabis extract. Cannabidiol researchers are subject to all kinds of regulations because marijuana and all of its derivatives remain listed as a Schedule I drug by the old 1970 Controlled Substance Act. That means that the DEA has control over any scientists wishing to study any of these substances, and the DEA maintains a tight grip on them. The red tape involved can actively harm or understanding of a substance which is currently used by a huge percentage of the population. Now, any researcher who was previously approved to study cannabidiol can do away with that extra application process and can have as much material as needed and when needed. And with any luck, this will free up researchers to learn more about marijuana and its extracts, as laws banning them are steadily lifted throughout the country. As a side note, some of the earliest U.S. patents that were signed by Thomas Jefferson and Madison were on hemp and cannabis-related items.
According to the Durango Herald, jury selection began Monday in 6th Judicial District Court for a Hesperus man suspected of sexually assaulting a child. It is the second trial for Marks. An error in court procedures led to a mistrial in late October. Marks is accused of multiple felonies, including sexual assault on a child as a pattern of abuse and tampering with a witness. He faces an estimated 10 to 32 years in prison if found guilty of the various charges. Assistant District Attorney Christian Champagne is prosecuting. The Public Defender's Office is defending Marks. District Judge William Herringer is overseeing the trial. Jury selection went past 5 p.m. Monday. Opening statements are expected to be made Tuesday morning.
In a follow-up to the use of drones for agriculture, recently the National Robotics Initiative was announced as part of a multi-departmental program, including agencies such as NASA, DARPA, and the Departments of Health and Energy, as well as the USDA. Its goal is to accelerate the development and use of robots in the U.S. that work alongside or cooperatively with people. Projects already in existence include farms attended entirely by robots, a robot that can herd sheep like a border collie, a robot that can sort 2 tons of grapes in 12 minutes, and a Roomba-like robot that can distinguish good lettuce leaves from bad weeds and pick those out. For 2015, the USDA handed out National Robotics Initiative cash grants to programs which included a program at UC Davis, where robots will be used to figure out low-cost, high-efficiency harvesting systems for orchards. Then at the University of Minnesota, home of the Honeycrisp apple, they're creating algorithms so owners of apple orchards can use off-the-shelf robots to pick, fertilize, and plant trees. And at the University of Pennsylvania, they're looking at ways to use UAVs or drones to gather and analyze farm data. The 2016 funding applications are due by March 7th. More details can be found online at the National Science Foundation website, nsf.gov.
According to the journal, new legislation aimed at preventing toxic waste spills during cleanup efforts at abandoned mines has been introduced in the U.S. House of Representatives. The Abandoned Mine Reclamation Safety Act, introduced by Republican Representative Raul Grijalva, Democrat of Ariz, was drafted in response to recommendations from the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation's technical review after the August 2015 Gold King mine spill. The spill released 3 million gallons of toxic wastewater into the Animas and San Juan rivers. Representative Scott Tipton, a Republican of Cortez, believes that Good Samaritan legislation, which would allow third-party groups to undertake mine cleanup efforts with some legal protections, should remain the priority over seeking to impose further federal regulations. Although similar legislative efforts have failed in the past, Tipton is working with Colorado's U.S. Senators Michael Bennet, a Democrat, and Cory Gardner, a Republican, on Good Samaritan legislation in response to last year's spill. Grijalva's newly introduced bill says the legislation would direct the Secretary of the Interior to promulgate regulations for the safe and environmentally responsible reopening of abandoned mines and for other purposes. It also would require new federal regulations to improve worker safety, professional engineering reviews to gauge cleanup efforts at abandoned mines, and stronger federal oversight of high-risk sites.
The deadline of January 31st looms for Silverton officials to make a request to Governor Hickenlooper to initiate a Superfund status consideration for the discharge of those mines north of the town. March would be the time frame when the plan for a hazardous waste cleanup program would be considered. The Environmental Protection Agency reviews contaminated sites for a national priorities list just 2 times a year. One of the community's concerns is what the Superfund site name would be for the area 10 miles north of Silverton and what is locally known as Gladstone. EPA officials assured residents it would not involve the town's name, instead leaving it up to Silverton to come up with a name. Obvious negative impact concerns are being brought up by the potential stigma attached to being a Superfund location. Last Wednesday, the EPA held a public hearing in Silverton in an effort to keep open communications with the community, a vow the federal agency took in August, shortly after its contractor released 3 million gallons of orange wastewater from the Gold King mine into the river. Last Thursday, La Plata County Commissioner Gwen Latchett said that the county met with the EPA and CDPHE in preparation for the board's January 12th decision on whether to support Superfund status.
Living in a desirable part of the country with beautiful scenery, many people decide to make the wildlands of southwest Colorado their final resting place. In March, Amy Buchanan and her family took a helicopter to the spot where an avalanche claimed her 23-year-old daughter's life in a skiing accident last year, and released her ashes over the mountain she loved. Olivia was outdoors all the time, so that made sense for us, Buchanan said. It was beautiful to see what she had seen, her last view. Olivia, who grew up in Durango, was skiing on Kendall Mountain above Silverton on January 6, 2015, when she triggered a slide that carried her several hundred feet into a grove of trees. Despite an extensive rescue attempt, Olivia died from her injuries. The Buchanans held a small ceremony recently at the spot where Olivia's ashes were spread, an area owned by the town of Silverton and the Bureau of Land Management. Spreading ashes on the BLM land is allowed, though there are some rules. No permit is required, but the agency encourages small, private ceremonies that are away from high visitor use areas and unpublicized. Remains must be scattered at least 100 yards from any trail, road, developed facility, or body of water in a manner that makes it unseen to the public, and no markers or memorials may be constructed. The BLM does not consider scattering cremated remains a threat to archaeological resources, so consultation with Native American tribes is not mandated. While scattering human remains is allowed on certain Park Service lands, it is not allowed at Mesa Verde National Park. It is also prohibited at any Colorado State Park and all Durango City parks.
High temperatures tomorrow, upper 20s, with Thursday through Sunday in the low to mid 30s, with lows in single digits to the mid-teens for the weekend. A deepening and fast-moving low-pressure system will move snow to the Great Lakes, Ohio, the Ohio Valley, Northeast, and portions of the Mid-Atlantic states today. The heaviest snows will be downwind of the Great Lakes, as snow rushing across the relatively warm lake waters results in a national formation of lake effect snow bands. Can we have the national map now, please? Lake effect snows will persist into Wednesday and Wednesday night, even as the low pressure system moves away from the area. The heaviest lake effect snows are forecast to occur downwind of Lakes Erie and Ontario, where 1 to 2 feet of additional snow is possible through Wednesday morning. Also, strong gusty winds in excess of 40 miles per hour are probable in the more intense lake effect snow bands that will reduce visibility at times. Heavy snow will also be possible across much of Maine as the surface low deepens off the coast Tuesday night, enhancing snowfall northwest of the low. Snowfall amounts of 6 to 12 inches are possible across much of Maine, and locally higher amounts are possible. In the wake of the low pressure system, an Arctic air mass will spread eastward. Temperatures today will be 15 to 25 degrees below average across portions of the Midwest and upper Great Lakes. The cold air will move east tomorrow, with temperatures 10 to 20 degrees below average across portions of the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, and Northeast. A Pacific low-pressure system will bring rain and mountain snow to the northwest today through Wednesday, with snow spreading across the northern Intermountain region tomorrow. Heavy snow is possible for the Sierras, with 10 to 20 inches of snow possible through Wednesday morning. This system will also bring high winds to portions of northern California and southern Oregon, with wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour for some areas. The next 2 days will feature benign weather with cooler than average high and low temperatures. A ridge over the Great Basin will migrate east today. A weak cold front will drop down the east side of this ridge into the high plains and will clip extreme northern Colorado this afternoon. This will bring a bit of cloud to the northern mountains above Steamboat Springs, but have no effect further south. Overnight it will be very cold, with the high plateaus and mountain valleys experiencing temperatures well below zero tonight. Low clouds and areas of fog from about Durango to south of Pagosa Springs will likely reappear tonight and continue until about 10 a.m. tomorrow. Also, low clouds and fog in the Uinta Basin will persist through the morning, then dissipate in the afternoon. This image that you're looking at now is the dark area shows what the split flow coming in from the Pacific we mentioned yesterday looks like. The hazardous weather outlook from the National Weather Service in Grand Junction, Colorado, Wednesday through Monday. The split flow over the eastern Pacific is consistent with El Nino patterns in January, but there do not appear to be any big snows during this period upcoming. But taken together, snow amounts may reach 1 to 2 feet in a 5-day period for western slope mountains from Thursday through Monday, with light amounts in the valleys, maybe 1 inch for us here Friday, beginning at noon and going until 6 p.m. A series of weather systems will move across Utah and western Colorado beginning on Thursday and possibly continuing into Sunday. The passage of each wave will bring plenty of clouds and a chance of snow. Light to moderate accumulations will be possible in the mountains with each passing disturbance, with a chance of light snow Friday in the valleys. Travel may be impacted, especially over the mountain passes.
According to the Durango Herald, high school juniors across Colorado won't take a different college entrance exam this spring after all. The Colorado Department of Education on Monday confirmed that students this year will take the ACT exam as they have since 2001. It's a relief for the families who have prepared their children for the ACT, said Dan Snowberger, Superintendent of Durango School District 9R, who was one of many superintendents in the state surprised by the original announcement that the state was changing to the SAT and its timing 2 days before Christmas, during the winter break and midway in the school year. The state awarded the College Board a 5-year contract to administer the practice SAT and SAT to Colorado's 10th and 11th grade students, but more than 100 school district superintendents complained the state didn't follow procedures and December's announcement was not enough notice for students taking spring tests. Under the agreement announced Monday, this year's 10th graders will take the practice SAT in preparation for Colorado's full transition to the SAT in spring 2017, the CDE said on its website.
We live with mountain lions, and this is what a mountain lion is supposed to do. That's what Colorado Parks and Wildlife spokesman Joe Lewandowski said in a response to human-lion interaction concerns brought up in Durango via a Facebook webpage last week. A picture showed the lion eating a roadkill deer, which then set off a slew of postings and comments, generating a general state of fear. The mountain lion, also known as a cougar, puma, and panther, is Colorado's largest feline, averaging 70 to 150 pounds and up to 8 feet in length, including its tail. Its main diet is about 1 deer a week. The animal remains a solitary creature, mostly active at night and rarely spotted by humans. Attacks on humans are even more rare. The last time someone was killed by a mountain lion in Colorado was in 1997, when a female cougar mauled a Lakewood boy in Rocky Mountain National Park. Most sightings increase in the winter, both due to the contrast to the white snow, as well as the lion following its prey down to lower elevations into more populated areas. To reduce the risk of problems with mountain lions, it's suggested to make noise, install lighting, keep an eye on your children, and remove vegetation that provides hiding places around your home. Plant shrubs and plants in your yard that deer don't eat to reduce the chance of mountain lions stalking prey at your home. Keep pets in at night, of course, store all garbage securely, and place livestock in enclosed sheds or barns at night. If you do encounter the animal, it is suggested that you make plenty of noise, do not approach a lion, and always give the animal a way to escape. Stay calm and talk calmly, yet firmly, and move away slowly. Do not run, and instead face the lion and stand upright, trying to appear large by raising your arms. You might open your jacket, and be sure to pick up children so that they don't run and panic. And finally, if the animal attacks, fight back. Throw whatever you can get your hands on. Use your bare hands and try to remain standing. Most people have survived attacks by fighting back.
Empire Electric Association is pleased to continue offering high school student scholarships and adult scholarships to its members. 24 scholarships of $1,000 each will be awarded to senior high school students who will be attending a 2-year community college or a 4-year college/university. Empire is also offering $500 to any student enrolled in a lineman, school, or other industry-related trade. In addition, Empire Electric Association offers 6 adult scholarships of $1,000 each. The adult scholarship program is intended for adults continuing their education. Applicants must be members of Empire Electric Association. The deadline for scholarship submissions is February 15, 2016. Student and adult scholarship forms are available on the Empire Electric Association website at www.eea.coop. The forms can also be picked up at Empire's headquarters located at 801 North Broadway, Cortez. High school students can also pick up forms at the High School Guidance Counselor's office. For more information about Empire Electric's scholarship program, contact Chris Hill at 564-4433 or email chris.hill@eea.coop.
Navajo Nation homes are often what is referred to as off the grid, far from utilities that most Americans take for granted. Some La Plata County residents have been traveling to the Navajo Reservation to bring electric lights to at least a few of those homes. An estimated 15,000 households on the reservation lack electricity, which can mean no lighting, no well pump, and no electric appliances, including refrigeration, unless they can afford a propane fridge, propane, and/or a generator. The Navajo Lights Project is a hands-on service project of the 4 Rotary clubs in La Plata County. 2 women who work for the Tribal Social Services served as guides to get volunteers to the homes that need and want the lights. The solar light kits are made by a company in Sweden for people's weekend cabins, costing around $300 each, installed in about 2 hours. There's a small 16 square-inch solar panel charging batteries attached to 3 lights, rather than charging master batteries like a more conventional off-the-grid system. The kit can power the 3 lights and a cell phone charger. The reservation covers parts of New Mexico, Utah, and mainly Arizona, and is larger than 10 East Coast states. This past October, crews associated with the Durango Home Builders Association started building handicap ramps to homes with tenants in need. In 3 years, the Lights Project volunteers have installed more than 150 light kits, and they have a ways to go to welcome any and all assistance.
Last week was riddled with slide-offs and other weather-related accidents, and the Dolores County Sheriff's Office would like to thank everyone who reported these slide-offs. These accidents often go unreported for hours due to people driving by believing it has already been reported. A slide-off is dangerous, and if you find yourself in this position, we advise that you stay in your vehicle with the seatbelt on and your hazards on. Failing to do so may result in drivers not seeing you or sliding into you from the same patch you just slid off of. Most of these accidents could even be avoided if you leave early and don't rush to wherever it is you need to be.
On February 1st, the Bureau of Land Management's Monticello, Utah's field office will increase some area camping fees to offset operational costs, including campground cleaning and maintenance, while other area camping fees will increase on September 1st. Camping facilities are located at the Sand Island Campground, Indian Creek Campground, as well as dispersed camping. Fees were listed on the website as ranging from no fee to $6 to $15 per parking area with a limit of 2 vehicles. The Canyon Country District includes the Moab and the Monticello field offices. Surrounding the Abajo Mountains is a variety of high desert attractions. South of the mountains is the Comb Ridge Monocline, a major crustal uplift about 80 miles in length. The San Juan River cuts through this major uplift from east to west in a dramatic series of canyons. West of Comb Ridge is Grand Gulch, which cuts a serpentine swath through Cedar Mesa. To the north of the mountains is Indian Creek, which is a world-renowned rock climbing area. Throughout this area, ancestral Pueblo Native Americans left a legacy that includes hundreds of cliff dwellings and thousands of pictographs and petroglyphs.
That's it for today's show. Again, thanks for tuning in. This program is aired live at noon and rebroadcasted at 2:30 and 8 p.m. on channel 32.1 Dolores County and on 30.4 in Montezuma County, and their cable channel 5.
You can also re-watch the broadcast on YouTube at the DCTV News at Noon channel. Be sure to contact us with your news suggestions. All feedback's welcome.
For Kendra Cook, Jerry Tope, and all those working to bring you the DCTV and News at Noon program from Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. See you next time.